There is a system that all the great learners of the world use, sometimes without even realizing it. After more than 500 hours of studying these people through books, podcasts, and interviews, I finally stumbled upon this method called SFL, or stoic-focused learning. It includes 5 simple principles deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which you might have tried unknowingly. In this video, you will learn how to easily apply this system and make your learning process 10 times faster. Make sure you stick around until the end not to miss anything and maximize your learning. Pillar number 1, control mastery. When you sit down to learn something new, there is always that little voice in the back of your head saying that you're not good enough or intelligent enough for this. Why are some people so much better at this than me? Or maybe this just isn't for me. These are the little demon voices we all hear, and here's the thing. The more you try to suppress them, the louder they get. This is where this stoic pillar, control mastery, comes into play. A technique many high achievers use to silence these doubts without a direct confrontation. Stoic philosophy teaches us a lot about this. Stoics focus on what's in their control and dismiss what they can't. These are just mere background noise that cannot interfere with their work unless they choose to listen. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is crucial when we're learning, focusing on the task, not the what-ifs and maybes. So the first thing you must do is to learn to live with these voices. You can't do much about them. All of the great learners have them. They just learned how to ignore them. And that's first what you need to do. Understand this idea, because without this, the other steps will not help you at all. Pillar number 2, discipline mastery. Now that you're okay with living with these background noises in your head, you have to become disciplined, and this Stoic idea will make you jump out of bed in a second. Stoics really nailed this concept. They believe that even a stupid, consistent person can achieve way more than a genius who's all over the place. Understand this. You are now losing to someone who is not as bright as you and doesn't have the same learning power as you, but he just does it more consistently than you and for a longer period of time. Do you really want to lose to a guy like that? Someone that you can easily beat at anything, even on your worst day? Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. He wasn't just a Roman emperor, he was also a dedicated Stoic who journaled every single day. At first, it might have felt like a chore, but before long, it turned into a habit that kept him sharp and focused. So how can you build this kind of discipline? Start by setting up a learning schedule that feels right for you. It doesn't have to be rigid, but it should be consistent. Don't just say, "I will study today for sure." Think of yourself as the genius with huge potential but zero structure. You're competing against a disciplined but stupid person who will most likely outperform you if you don't get going fast. Everything in life is a competition. You have to move fast, learn fast, and apply fast. Otherwise, just give up and become like the other 99% of the "I could have been great." With a solid structure in place, everything gets clearer. You're not just wandering around. You're checking off tasks and moving forward with a mindset that nothing can shake. Now, let's dive into reflection mastery. This is all about taking a step back to really soak in what you've learned. Remember, you also have to be efficient with your work. If you do more, it doesn't mean you actually get more. Back in law school, I remember pulling 12-hour study sessions, trying to learn everything. But at the end of those marathons, I'd realize, wait, what did I actually learn? I remembered nothing. That's when one of my teachers shared a golden nugget. Studying for shorter periods, followed by some serious downtime to reflect, is way more effective. You need that space to let your brain do its thing, process, and connect the dots. So, I started breaking up my study times. After learning something new, I'd step outside or just sit back and let my mind wander. I'd grab anyone who'd listen, often my girlfriend, and I'd explain what I'd just learned. Teaching someone else is a powerful tool. It's like you're learning it twice. Once for yourself and once for your listener. Even now, when I pick up something new about YouTube or marketing, I break it down for her, jot it down in my Notion journal, and then share it with friends. They often come back with questions, which pushes me to think even deeper about the topic. The Stoics were big on this kind of reflective practice. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In context, it's about living the lessons, not just learning them. Reflecting on what you've learned by talking about it, writing it down, and teaching it solidifies that knowledge and makes it part of who you are. Strategy tip: start keeping a learning journal. After each study session, jot down key insights, lingering questions, or how you might apply what you've learned. Read this journal regularly. The more you go back on things you already wrote down yourself and your ideas, the more they become embedded into your mind. And if you want to make your learning that much easier and faster, I have the perfect tool for you. Our sponsor, Shortform. You know how there are so many books out there you want to read but just don't have the time? Shortform helps with that. They take big books and make them easy to understand quickly, kind of like having a friend who reads a ton and tells you all the best parts. Shortform covers all kinds of topics, stuff like getting better at your job, figuring out your health, and even big ideas about the world. And they just rolled out this new thing, Shortform AI, where you click a button and get a quick summary of almost anything you're reading online. If you want to give it a try, I've got a deal for you. Use my link, shortform.com/SOW, and you can start for free. Plus, you'll get a 20% discount on your annual subscription if you decide to stick with it. It's a cool way to learn a lot without having to read a book cover to cover. And now back to our video. Moving to the next pillar, you see that the real difference between a great learner and an average one often lies in the difficulty of the tasks they undertake. Sure, learning the alphabet is quicker and easier than wrapping your head around quantum mechanics. However, once someone masters a complex subject like quantum mechanics, every other topic thereafter feels like a walk in the park in comparison. Never shy away from a challenge. If you're faced with two subjects you like equally, but one is significantly tougher, go for the tougher one first. Mastering it not only boosts your confidence, but also makes learning anything else seem like a breeze afterward. The Stoics believed that growth comes from testing one's limits and stepping beyond the familiar. Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This philosophy encourages us to confront what seems daunting, not to recoil from it. How to do it? Dive into material or skills that push your boundaries. Use active learning methods like teaching others. Similarly, applying what you've learned in practical projects can solidify your knowledge and show you the real-world applications of your studies. The more you do hard things, the more your brain becomes used to hard things. It's basically progressive overload for the brain. Now, the last pillar. All about entering your learning session with a clear mind, fully prepared to engage with the material at hand. Before you dive into any learning activity, you must ensure you're mentally and physically ready to focus. Set clear boundaries. If someone calls, don't answer. If friends invite you out, politely decline. This time is yours, dedicated solely to your development. One way to sharpen your focus is to start each study session with a mindfulness exercise. It sounds stupid, but it works. I personally use the Wim Hof breathing technique, which you can easily find right here on YouTube. Just 5 minutes of this breathing exercise before studying clears my mind incredibly. I think of it as a mental cleaning tool that gives you near tunnel vision and gives you crazy focus for the first hour of your studying session. The Stoics were big proponents of such mindfulness practices, though they might not have called them that. They understood the importance of inner peace and clarity before undertaking any serious task. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations about the importance of clearing one's spirit. "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This highlights the Stoic belief in finding tranquility within as a precursor to any external action. Doing this simple thing, meditating, breathing exercises, or whatever you see fit right before you jump into your studying session gives you that edge above other people. These things stack up. All of these pillars put together might give you up to 100% more than if you don't do them. But you don't have to believe me. Try them for yourself and see what happens. I bet you will be surprised. So, when we add up all these pillars, we get a clear picture of how truly successful people operate. Even though they might not consciously apply these 5 Stoic pillars, They embody them in their actions and mindset. Take, for example, what Alex Hormozy mentioned about focus. If you dedicate 100% of your effort toward achieving just one thing at a time, you'll reach your goal much faster than if you scatter your efforts across 10 different objectives. This is a crucial point because trying to juggle too many goals at once is perhaps the biggest waste of time. Consistently, top learners all share similar habits. They direct their focus, maintain discipline in their studies, engage in deep reflection, teach others to reinforce their own understanding, and aren't afraid to tackle the toughest subjects first. These strategies didn't just help me get through law school and marketing school. They've been fundamental in growing my business and my YouTube channel as well. By embracing and applying these 5 pillars, along with adopting a stoic mindset, you can achieve 10 times more in any area of your life. It's about streamlining your approach, sharpening your focus, and being relentless in your pursuit of knowledge and growth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and check out our other content designed to help you become a better, more effective person. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep pushing, keep learning, and keep growing.